The next morning, the rain still hadn't stopped. It came down in steady rhythms, tracing the windows like nature's version of weeping. The sky outside Lia's apartment remained a heavy, unforgiving gray. But it wasn't the rain that kept her awake. It was a message. Just one. Eli's back in town. She hadn't slept. Not really. Her body had stayed still, but her mind, it had been everywhere. Backwards. Forwards. Looping through memories like worn-out film reels, trying to make sense of something that never did. And now, morning had arrived with no answers. She sat at the kitchen table, wearing the same oversized sweater from last night. Her tea had gone cold. The box of letters was still there, open, raw, waiting. She reached in again. This letter was different. Just a single page. Folded neatly. Thin. The handwriting, more hurried than the last. A little crooked. As if the truth had spilled out too quickly for her hand to keep up. She recognized the date instantly. The day after the rooftop. And though she hadn't needed the reminder, she read it anyway. Dear Eli. Last night should have been the night I said everything. The stars, the coffee, your question. I felt it. I felt it in my chest, in my throat, in my fingers. But I was scared. Scared if I said it, you'd leave. And then you left anyway. So maybe silence isn't protection. Maybe it's a curse. Lia closed her eyes. And memory didn't ask permission, it pulled her under. It was a rooftop not many people knew about. Just above the art building. 5 stories high. A rusted ladder led up to it, where the concrete cracked beneath your feet, and forgotten chalk messages lined the edges. To the world, it was just another neglected rooftop. But to them, it was sacred. That night, Eli had messaged her. Just one word. Come. She went. No hesitation. And there he was, waiting. A wool blanket spread out unevenly. 2 chipped mugs beside a battered thermos. And that smile, the one that made her feel like time had slowed down just for them. They didn't talk about big things at first. They never did. Instead, they laughed about how bad the coffee was. Talked about the stars, what few were visible through the city haze. Debated about whether people really ever change. Traced dreams in the sky they hadn't yet outgrown. But then, he asked her something. What do you really want, Lia? She remembered the way he said it. Not casual. Not like small talk. He meant it. And not what do you want to do. Not where do you want to live or what job do you want. Just, what do you want? She had felt the answer rise in her chest like a wave. You, Eli. You're what I want. But she didn't say it. She looked at him, and instead of courage, she found fear. Fear that naming something so precious would destroy it. So she answered, I don't know. And something in his eyes changed. Only slightly. Just a flicker. But she saw it. And she felt the silence that followed settle over them like a fog. Dense. Wordless. Heavy. They almost kissed that night. She remembered that too. His hand had brushed hers. Their eyes met. Breath slowed. The moment hung in the air like a held note. But it passed. And they let it. Back in the kitchen, Lia blinked hard. A tear slipped down her cheek. She hadn't realized it was there. She rose slowly and wrapped the sweater tighter around her. walked out to the small balcony where the cold mist of rain kissed her face. From this angle, just barely, she could see it. The rooftop. Still standing. Still silent. Still holding the memory of a night that almost changed everything. She stared at it, as if it might answer the questions she never dared ask. Her fingers tightened around the balcony rail, and her mind whispered. That night wasn't painful because of what happened. It was painful because of what almost did. She walked back inside, picked up the letter again, and read the last line one more time. You asked me what I wanted, and I lied. I wanted you. I just didn't know how to ask for something I didn't believe I could keep. That rooftop had changed everything. Not because of a kiss. Not because of a confession. But because she had a chance. A single moment. And she let it pass. She thought silence would protect what they had. But maybe silence was the very thing that broke it. And now, 7 years later, Eli was back. The question echoed again. What do you really want, Lia? And this time, she knew the answer. She turned to the window and whispered, barely louder than breath. If you ask me now, Eli, I'll tell you. I promise. I'll tell you what I want. But the rain didn't answer. It just kept falling.